On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Influenza.
Formal for flu, a highly contagious viral disease that causes fever, severe aching, and catarrh and often occurs in epidemics.
Examples:
An epidemic outbreak of influenza. Influenza B strain. The research institute allocated a lot of money to study the cause and prevention of influenza.
Swine.
A domestic pig, especially one bred for its meat.
Examples:
Swine flu. Swine industry. The farmer raises swine on his farm for the market.
Tight.
Fixed, fastened, or kept together firmly or closely.
Examples:
A tight game. Student on a tight budget. The national election was held amid tight security.
Quarter.
One of 4 equal parts, a fourth part or portion.
Examples:
A quarter mile. End of the first quarter. The unemployment rate in the first quarter was 2.3 percentage points higher than in the previous.
Cough.
To expel air from the lungs suddenly and noisily, often as a reaction to irritation, illness, or some other physical condition. Noun, a sudden, forceful expulsion of air from the lungs, often accompanied by a distinctive sound.
Examples:
Cough several times. Persistent cough. I can't stop coughing and think I might have caught a cold.
Sneeze.
To make a sudden, involuntary expulsion of air from the nose and mouth, usually due to irritation caused by the presence of dust, pollen, or other irritants.
Examples:
Sneeze into my hand. Sneeze loudly. Whenever I get a cold, I tend to sneeze a lot.
Outbreak.
A sudden start of something, usually a disease or something dangerous or unpleasant.
Examples:
Infectious disease outbreaks. The outbreak of hostilities. The government predicts an epidemic outbreak of multiple viruses, including coronaviruses and influenza.
Virus.
A tiny infectious organic material that causes disease in people, animals, and plants.
Examples:
Spread of the virus. A strain of virus. An infected person in the hospital will likely pass the virus to others.
Herd.
A group of animals of the same type that live or are kept together as livestock.
Examples:
Herd of cattle. The common herd. He was riding herd on the sheep during the day.
Blink.
To shut and open the eyes quickly, to gleam or glow in a regular or intermittent way.
Examples.
Blink his eyes. Blink in astonishment. He blinked in the dazzling sunlight.
Veterinarian.
Formal for a vet, a medical professional who specializes in the care and treatment of animals, especially those that are domesticated or kept as pets.
Examples.
Veterinarian clinic. Experienced veterinarian. I took my pet to the veterinarian for a routine checkup.
Lab.
A workplace for the conduct of scientific research, a laboratory.
Examples.
Lab instrument. Medical lab. The Prime Minister will pay a courtesy visit to the Nobel laureate's lab.
Infection.
A condition in which pathogenic microorganisms or viruses have entered the body.
Examples.
A bacterial infection. Treat the infection with antibiotics. Hospitals must meet various standards to prevent nosocomial infections.
Swab.
A small piece of soft material used by a doctor, nurse, etc., for cleaning a cut or taking a sample from somebody's body for testing. Verb, apply, usually a liquid, to a surface.
Examples.
Alcohol swab. Cotton swab. He took a swab of his ear.
Filter.
Any of several types of equipment or systems used to separate particles from liquids or gases, or to remove specific forms of light.
Examples.
Gas filter. Clogged filter. Ozone is a primary filter to protect Earth's surface from harmful UV rays.
Tube.
A cylindrical container of metal, plastic, glass, etc., usually sealed and used as a means of preserving food or chemicals, a hollow cylindrical shape.
Examples.
A capillary tube. A glass tube. The tube train was packed with commuters during rush hour.
Chemical.
Relating to or connected with chemistry.
Examples.
Toxic chemicals. A chemical compound. The firm has grown into a large chemical manufacturing. Extract. A short passage taken from a book, piece of music, etc., a substance obtained from something through a specific process. Verb, to obtain from something or to remove something by effort or force. Examples. A brief extract from the book. Botanical extract. Anesthetize the gum before extracting the teeth. Genetic. Of or relating to genes, equals parts of the DNA in cells, or the science of genes. Examples. Have genetic testing. A genetic disorder. Understanding protein folding is a vital step in deciphering the genetic code.
Analyze.
To think about in depth and evaluate to discover essential features or meaning.
Examples.
Analyze a chemical compound. Analyze your real motives. The teacher attempted to analyze the root cause of our mistake.
Detect.
To find or recognize something, especially something difficult to see, hear, etc.
Examples.
Detect a bad event. Detect smuggling across borders. The security camera has detected 4 intruders.
Visualize.
To form a mental image or concept of something, to make something visible.
Examples.
Visualize data. Visualize flying through space. She tried to visualize the layout of the new house in her mind.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples.
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Molecule.
A group of 2 or more atoms held together by attractive forces known as chemical bonds.
Examples.
Small molecules. Molecule behavior. The shape of the DNA molecule is a double helix.
Instruction.
Detailed direction, order, etc. on how to do or use something.
Examples.
Individual instruction. Follow his instructions. They needed further instruction to perform their duties efficiently.
Humming.
Producing a continuous, low, vibrating sound like that of the bee.
Examples.
Humming sound. Hummingbird. The humming of the bees filled the air as she walked through the garden.
Bacteria.
Single-celled or non-cellular spherical or spiral or rod-shaped organisms that exist in large numbers in the air, water, and soil, and also in living and dead creatures and plants, and are often a cause of disease.
Examples.
Pathogenic bacteria. Harmless bacteria. Bacteria prevalent in hospitals are often resistant to antibiotics.
Encode.
To convert information into a code or format suitable for storage or transmission.
Examples.
Encode data. Encode information. The software can encode and decode encrypted messages.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples.
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Function.
The purpose or use of an object, system, or process, a particular activity or operation that is designed to serve a specific purpose, a mathematical concept that describes a relationship between two sets of values, called the input and output sets. Verb, to operate or work in a specific way, or to perform a particular task or purpose.
Examples.
Function properly. Immune function. The brain is an incredibly complex organ that controls the body's function.
Trigger.
To make something happen suddenly, to cause something such as a device, machine, etc., to function.
Examples.
Trigger a biochemical response. Trigger inflation. The incident triggered a political controversy.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples.
Disease prevention. Disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
String.
Long, thin material used for tying things together, composed of several twisted threads.
Examples.
Retie the string and make it strong. Tense piano strings. She wore a string of pearls around her neck.
Twist.
To bend or turn something into a certain shape.
Examples.
Twist around to the left. Twist a wet towel. He twisted pieces of rope out of straw.
Helix.
A three-dimensional spiral shape or structure, particularly like that of a spring or a DNA molecule.
Examples.
Helix structure. Alpha helix. The DNA molecule is shaped like a double helix.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples.
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Flip.
To turn over into a different position quickly, to throw or toss with a light motion.
Examples.
Flip over the pork chop. Flip a coin. He flipped when he heard that he had been accepted into the university.
Pause.
To take a short break from talking or doing something before continuing.
Examples.
Pause a moment. Pause for a reaction. The man paused before opening the door.
Joint.
Shared, held, or made between two or more people. Noun, the point of connection between two bones or elements of a skeleton.
Examples.
A joint venture. The bone of a joint. After the summit meeting, the prime ministers issued a joint statement.
Invention.
The creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation, the act of inventing.
Examples.
The invention of new techniques. Common invention. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Specific.
Clearly defined or particular to a certain thing or situation, distinct, explicit, and precise.
Examples.
Specific instructions. Industry-specific regulations. The scientist conducted a study that provided specific details about the species' behavior.
Surround.
To be all around something or somebody.
Examples.
Surround a town. A stone wall surrounds the palace. On 3 sides, mountains surround the settlement.
Pile.
A collection of objects positioned one on top of another, a large sum of something, such as money.
Examples.
A sand pile. The height of a pile. After the party, they had to clean up piles of dirty dishes.
Interpret.
To explain or assign the meaning of information, actions, etc.
Examples.
Interpret a graph. Interpret the question. Different people might interpret this news differently.
Bury.
To place a dead body in the ground, grave, or tomb.
Examples.
Bury in the earth. Bury emotion. There is plenty of space to bury everyone.
Cancer.
Abnormal growth of cells that can invade and destroy surrounding tissues and organs. A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells.
Examples.
Cancer diagnosis. Cancer research. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women.
Descent.
The act or process of moving downward, a person's family origins.
Examples.
Descent from nobility. Descent of family. The descent from the mountain was steep and rocky.
Transform.
To change an outward structure or looks.
Examples.
Transform an education system. Transform heat into power. My father's death transformed my life completely.
Innovative.
Introducing or using new methods, ideas, etc.
Examples.
Use of innovative technology. Stylistically innovative works. The Prime Minister stressed the need to create innovative industries.
Medicinal.
Of or relating to the treatment or cure of disease.
Examples:
Medicinal chemistry. Traditional medicinal. The medicinal properties of this herb have been known to help with various ailments.
Modify.
To change something slightly, such as a plan, option, law, etc., especially to make it more suitable for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Genetically modify food. Modify my behavior. We use adverbs to modify verbs and adjectives.
Contaminate.
To make something impure, unclean, or poisonous by contact or mixture.
Examples:
Contaminate with a disease. Contaminate his ego. We strive not to contaminate the environment when demolishing petroleum plants.
Judge.
A person who makes decisions in a court of law. Verb, to determine the result of or form a critical opinion of something.
Examples:
Judge a competition. An associate judge. The strict judge ruled in favor of the plaintiff in the case.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Innocent.
Not guilty of a crime, offense, etc., not having an evil mind or knowledge.
Examples:
An innocent child. Thousands of innocent people. My husband was found innocent of any crime.
Guilty.
Feeling responsible for or having done something wrong or criminal.
Examples:
Feel a bit guilty. Guilty verdict. After much contemplation, the suspect decided to plead guilty to the theft charge.
Technique.
A particular way or art of doing something that needs skill.
Examples:
A technique in martial arts. The technique applied to construction. Jockey's superior technique brought him victory.
Award.
A prize or other mark of recognition given in honor of an achievement.
Examples:
Award ceremony. Participation award. He won the award for Best Actor at the film festival.
Chemistry.
The branch of the natural sciences dealing with the composition of substances and their properties and reactions.
Examples:
Professor of chemistry. The chemistry of soil. He is familiar with chemistry and biology.
Confine.
To restrict the movement of someone or something.
Examples:
Confine themselves solely. Confine the scope of use. The animal was confined in a small cage.
Ivory.
A hard, creamy white substance that comes from the tusks of elephants, walruses, and some other animals and is used to make ornaments and other decorative items.
Examples:
Tower of ivory. Ivory carving. The intricate carvings on the ivory tusk were a work of art.
Tower.
A structure that is exceptionally high in proportion to its width and either forms part of a building or stands alone.
Examples:
A bell tower. The tower on a cliff. She is a tower of strength for our team in trouble.
Bigwig.
A powerful or influential person, especially in a particular sphere or organization, an important figure or high-ranking individual.
Examples:
Business bigwig. Political bigwig. The bigwig from the company's headquarters visited our office to discuss the new project.
Co-founder.
One of several people who establishes an organization or starts a business.
Examples:
Co-founder of the university. Late co-founder. He is the co-founder and chairman of this tech company.
Fellow.
Someone who has the same job or interests as you, or is in the same class, profession, or situation as you.
Examples:
Junior fellow. Nice fellow. He is the kind of fellow who only works for his success.
Biology.
The scientific study of life and the natural processes of living things.
Examples:
Evolutionary biology. Cell and molecular biology. In junior high school, we had to dissect a frog in biology class.
Basement.
A room or a part of a building that is partly or entirely below ground level.
Examples:
For basement floor. Church basement. Underground rivers flow over a basement layer that is impervious to water.
Tap.
To hit someone or something quickly, gently, and often repeatedly, to use existing resources, such as energy, knowledge, etc.
Examples:
Tap a new market. Tap keyboard with an index finger. To expand the company, we must tap new human resources.
Reserve.
To keep something for future use or contingency. To obtain or arrange something, such as a meeting, seat, etc., in advance.
Examples:
Reserve the right. Reserve a concert ticket. You can easily reserve seats over the telephone.
Celebrate.
To acknowledge a memorable or good day or event with a social gathering or enjoyable activity.
Examples:
Celebrate his election. Celebrate Christmas. He celebrated the 10th anniversary of his tenure.
Toilet.
A bowl-shaped plumbing fixture with a seat for defecation and urination, or a room or building containing one or more of this fixture.
Examples:
Toilet paper. Toilet seat. She walked to the toilet to freshen up before the meeting.
Predict.
To state beforehand that something will happen in the future, mainly based on knowledge or experience.
Examples:
Predict the future. Predict when she will arrive. It's notoriously challenging to predict birth rates.
Truffle.
A rare and highly prized type of edible fungus that grows underground, typically near the roots of trees, often with a strong and distinctive aroma and flavor, often used in gourmet cuisine or as a delicacy.
Examples:
Black truffle. Truffle pasta. The chef garnished the dish with a drizzle of truffle oil to enhance its flavor.
Stem.
The central part of something from which other parts can develop or grow, the part of a word common to all its inflected variants. Verb, to grow out of, have roots in, or originate in.
Examples:
Stem from a belief. The stem of a matchstick. A rose has thorns on its stem.
Fungus.
A type of organism that includes yeasts, molds, and mushrooms, which are heterotrophic, meaning they do not produce their food and must consume organic matter to survive.
Examples:
Fungus infection. Symbiotic fungus. Certain types of fungus can be toxic to humans, causing severe illness if ingested.
Fetch.
To go and bring back something or someone, to retrieve or obtain something.
Examples:
Fetch the mail. Fetch a ball. Could you help me fetch the ball from the other side of the field?
Gram.
A metric unit of weight equal to 1/1000th of a kilogram.
Examples:
Centimeter gram second system. Gram amount. How much is it per 100 grams?
Stake.
A share or financial investment in something such as a business, a wooden or metal post set up to mark something.
Examples:
Execution by burning at a stake. By the company's stake. The stake of the company is too high nowadays.
Exposed.
Having no protection or shield from something, such as bad weather, attack, or criticism.
Examples:
Exposed to radiation. An exposed rock. Tech companies often employ exposed ducts and other materials in their office interiors.
Threat.
A strong indication or likelihood of harm, danger, or adverse consequences. An expression of intent to inflict harm or injury on someone or something, often made as a means of coercion or intimidation.
Examples:
Economic threat, environmental threat. The threat of severe weather prompted the city to issue an evacuation warning.
Knockoff.
An imitation or copy of a product or item, often made with lower quality materials or in a way that violates the intellectual property rights of the original maker.
Examples:
Knockoff version, designer knockoff. The street vendor was selling knockoff designer purses.
Microscope.
An instrument used to see objects or substances that are too small to be seen with the naked eye.
Examples:
Microscope slide, electron microscope. I used an optical microscope to observe the small organisms in the water sample.
Authentic.
Known to be real and what people say it is, not a fake or copy.
Examples:
An authentic signature. The sets were meticulously authentic. The stages of the play were meticulously authentic.
Chef.
A cook, especially the chief cook in a restaurant or hotel.
Examples:
Chef knife, master chef. The chef at the restaurant was known for his creative and delicious dishes.
Mind-blowing.
Extremely impressive in a way that affects someone's mind or emotions.
Examples:
Mind-blowing discovery. A mind-blowing horror story. The mind-blowing effects of the psychedelic drug were unlike anything he had ever experienced.
Bet.
To risk money on the result of an event or a competition, such as a race or game, to get more money, to have faith or confidence in something.
Examples:
Bet on a race. Bet my future. I bet that you know it.
Risotto.
An Italian dish made with a type of rice called arborio, or other short grain rice, cooked in broth until it reaches a creamy consistency, often combined with various ingredients such as vegetables, seafood, or cheese.
Examples:
Risotto recipe. Asparagus risotto. The creamy risotto was a delicious dish that satisfied even the pickiest eaters.
Virology.
The scientific study of viruses and their properties, including their structure, behavior, transmission, and effects on organisms.
Examples:
Diagnostic virology. Degree programs in virology. Advances in virology have led to the discovery of new viral diseases and their treatments.
Ebola.
A highly contagious and often fatal viral disease that causes severe fever and internal bleeding, primarily occurring in remote areas of Central and West Africa.
Examples:
Ebola epidemic, Ebola virus. The Ebola outbreak in West Africa caused widespread panic and fear.
Patient.
A person who is receiving medical treatment, care, or attention from a healthcare professional, such as a doctor, nurse, or therapist, a personal quality or characteristic.
Examples:
Patient in the hospital, patient with weight loss. The doctor carefully examined the patient's medical history.
Suffer.
To experience pain, distress, or hardship, to undergo or endure something painful or unpleasant.
Examples:
Suffer a setback, suffer bad grades. The older man suffers from arthritis and finds it difficult to move around.
Equip.
To provide a person or a place with the things that are needed for a particular purpose or activity.
Examples:
Equip an army. Equip our children with some special skills. The construction company equipped the building with an earthquake-resistant device.
Pop-up.
An item, event, or shop that appears or happens suddenly, unexpectedly, and usually for a limited time. Verb, to appear or open suddenly and unexpectedly, as a window or menu on a computer screen.
Examples:
Pop-up ad, pop-up notification. The pop-up store was a great way to test the market for the new product.
Diagnose.
To determine or distinguish the nature of a problem or an illness through a careful analysis.
Examples:
Diagnose the problem. Diagnose with CT scans. This device is used to diagnose brain cancer and other tumors.
Sequence.
A series of related events, actions, numbers, etc., which have a particular order.
Examples:
The sequence of the seasons. The DNA sequence. We do move forward with those tasks in sequence next week.
Humidity.
The amount of water vapor in the air, typically as a percentage of the maximum that the air could hold at that temperature.
Examples:
Uncomfortable humidity. Humidity sensor. The humidity in the tropical forest was so high that it was hard to breathe.
Extreme.
Very great in amount or degree.
Examples:
Extreme sports. Extreme weather events. Solar gravity creates extreme pressures and temperatures.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples:
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.
Astronaut.
A person trained by a space agency to travel outside the Earth's atmosphere.
Examples:
Astronaut mission. Astronaut in training. The shuttle astronaut trained for months before embarking on the space mission.
Aboard.
On or onto a ship, aircraft, or other vehicles, present or participating in a particular activity or endeavor.
Examples:
Aboard the ship. Remain aboard. The captain announced that all passengers should be aboard the ferry before it departed for the island.
Orbit.
The path of an object around a celestial body, especially a planet, star, or moon, under the influence of gravity, of medicine, the bony cavity in the skull that houses the eyeball and its associated structures, like muscles, nerves, and blood vessels.
Examples:
The orbit of the moon. A planetary orbit. The rocket engine is used to put the satellite into orbit.
Planet.
Any of the 9 large celestial bodies that circle in the solar system, any celestial body that revolves around a star.
Examples:
Planet like the Earth. Save the planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun.
Sunset.
The time in the evening at which the sun begins to fall below the horizon. Verb, to expire or be terminated automatically at the end of a fixed period.
Examples:
Sunset dysfunction. Spectacular sunset views. He is in the sunset of his life.
Sunrise.
The time in the morning when the sun first appears in the sky.
Examples:
Beautiful sunrise. High technology sunrise industries. I got up early to watch the sunrise at the summit.
Microgravity.
A condition of feeble gravity, often experienced by objects or organisms in orbit around a planet or other celestial body, such as the International Space Station.
Examples:
Microgravity research. Microgravity environment. Astronauts experience the effects of microgravity when they are in space.
Funk.
A feeling of sadness or depression, a low or unenergetic mood, a type of music that combines jazz, soul, and R&B.
Examples:
Funk music. Get in a funk. When she heard about her friend's illness, she fell into a deep funk that lasted for days.
Immune.
Protected against a particular disease or toxin due to the presence of specific antibodies or sensitized white blood cells.
Examples:
Immune from criminal prosecution. The cell of the immune system. The vaccination does not necessarily make you completely immune.
Suppress.
To bring something under control by force or authority, to put an end by force.
Examples:
Suppress a yawn. Suppress a revolt. The doctor prescribed medication to suppress the patient's appetite.
Prone.
Inclined or likely to do something or to show a particular characteristic, especially something bad, lying face downward.
Examples:
Accident prone. Prone to diarrhea. He was prone to making rash decisions.
Relate.
To establish a connection or association between two or more things. To narrate or tell about an event, experience, or relationship. To empathize or feel sympathy with someone or something.
Examples:
Relate a story. Relate a message. He tried to relate his experience to the group, but they couldn't understand.
Suppression.
The act of stopping or preventing something from being expressed or revealed.
Examples:
The suppression of bandits. Suppression of estrogen. The government imposed a suppression of freedom of speech.
Competition.
A situation in which someone is attempting to beat or outperform another.
Examples:
The first round of the competition. Interspecific competition. Global competition is rising in virtually every industry.
Experiment.
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
Experiment design. Series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Hypothesis.
A proposed idea or explanation that is based on a few known facts, but has not yet been proven to be true or accurate.
Examples:
Test my hypothesis. A bold hypothesis. This evidence supports the Big Bang hypothesis.
Cape.
A type of long, loose outer garment that covers the back, shoulders, and arms, a headland or promontory extending into the sea or other large body of water.
Examples:
Cape Cod. Red cape. The superhero wore a flowing cape as part of their costume.
Launch.
To send or propel something into the air or space using a device such as a rocket, missile, or spacecraft. To make something available or on sale for the first time.
Examples:
Launch a spaceship into orbit. Launch a big attack. The company is set to launch its new product line next month.
Rocket.
A large tube-shaped object that moves very first by a stream of gases let out behind it, used for space travel or as a weapon.
Examples:
rocket attack against the enemy. Rocket fuel. The rocket launch platform is visible from this hill.
Monitor.
To observe, check, and track the progress or quality of something over a period of time.
Examples:
monitor an exam. Monitor the data carefully. They used a special receiver to monitor police radio channels.
Rarity.
The condition or trait of being unusual, something that is unusual.
Examples:
the rarity of the event. Book of great rarity. Due to their rarity, diamonds are expensive.
Genius.
Someone who has exceptional intellectual ability and originality.
Examples:
a person of genius. A genius for music. Mozart was a musical genius.
App.
Abbreviation for application, software designed to run on smartphones and other mobile devices or inside a web browser on a PC.
Examples:
killer app. Cannot log into the app. The discovery of a critical bug caused the company to delay the app's release.
Suburb.
An outlying district or residential area of a city or town, typically comprising middle-class and affluent neighborhoods.
Examples:
suburb development. Suburb life. He grew up in the suburbs, but always dreamed of living in the city.
Creative.
Relating to or involving the use of skill and original and unusual ideas to create something.
Examples:
creative writing. Barren of creative spirit. All the supervisor has to do is assign tasks that make his subordinates more creative.
Executive.
A person or group of people with top-level management responsibility in a business or other organization, the branch that is responsible for implementing, administering, and enforcing laws, as well as running the day-to-day operations.
Examples:
executive editor at the publishing house. Executive vice president. As the executive director of the nonprofit, it's her responsibility to make sure they're meeting their mission goals.
Equity.
The value of the shares issued by a company.
Examples:
private equity firm. Equity capital market. That company is cautious when it comes to equity investment.
Firm.
Resolute or unwavering in decision-making or action, strong or secure in structure, make or composition, reliable, trustworthy, or dependable. Noun, a business or company.
Examples:
firm grip. Accounting firm. The firm deadline for submitting the project is tomorrow, so we need to work efficiently to finish on time.
Homegrown.
Grown or produced locally rather than imported from another area.
Examples:
Homegrown talent. Homegrown produce. The restaurant prides itself on its homegrown ingredients sourced from local farms.
Backyard.
A whole space behind and belonging to a house.
Examples:
Play in the backyard. Backyard barbecue. He grows vegetables in his backyard.
Flesh.
The soft substance composing the body of a person or animal, as opposed to bones and other structures.
Examples:
Grow in flesh. Flesh eating. The flesh of the fruit is sweet and juicy.
Genetically.
In a way that relates to or is produced by genes, equals the units in the cells of a living thing received by an animal or plant from its parents, or heredity.
Examples:
Genetically inherited traits. Genetically manipulated plant. The genetically modified crops were resistant to pests and required less water.
Engineer.
A person whose job is designing, building, or maintaining something such as machines, structures, or software.
Examples:
A civil engineer. Engineer shortage. The engineer will repair my telephone tomorrow morning.
Trait.
A particular feature of your nature.
Examples:
Chemical trait. Personality traits. Multiple genes may influence behavioral traits concurrently.
Sink.
To submerge or go down below the surface of a liquid or substance, to decline or deteriorate, to cause something to go down into a liquid substance or sink into something else.
Examples:
Sink a lot of capital. Sink a buzzer beater. The abandoned ship slowly began to sink into the murky waters of the harbor.
Paternity.
The state of being a father, the attribution of a specific child to a particular father, the characteristics or traits inherited or passed down from a father.
Examples:
Paternity suit. Paternity test. The paternity leave policy at his workplace allowed him to take time off to bond with his new baby.
Definitely.
Without any question and beyond doubt, clearly.
Examples:
Definitely become a problem. Say definitely. The paper is definitely worth reading thoroughly.
Hands-on.
Actively involved, practical, having hands involved in the doing or making of something.
Examples:
Hands-on activity. Take a hands-on approach. The hands-on workshop allowed attendees to work with tools and materials, developing their skills in a hands-on environment.
Profound.
Extremely great, sensed or experienced very strongly, displaying a high level of knowledge or comprehension.
Examples:
A profound book. The profound depths of the sea. My mother's illness had a profound impact on us all.
Transformation.
A complete change in form, nature, or appearance of someone or something.
Examples:
The transformation of a tadpole into a frog. Cast a transformation spell. Understanding unitary transformations of a normal matrix require considerable mathematical sophistication.
Bound.
To move forward by leaps and bounds, to form the boundary of something.
Examples:
Bounded with delight. Bound up a staircase. Canada bounds on the United States.
Cord.
A strong, thick, or thin thread or rope, a piece of plastic-coated wire used to transport electricity to a piece of equipment.
Examples:
Spinal cord. Electrical cord. Your spinal cord is located deep within your body.
Mainframe.
A large and powerful computer with a lot of memory used primarily by large organizations for critical applications.
Examples:
Mainframe computer. Mainframe operating system. IBM has consistently been a significant supplier of mainframes for a long time.
Ripple.
A small wave on the surface of a liquid, typically caused by an object falling into it or a slight wind.
Examples:
A ripple of laughter. Ripple in the water. Many businesses felt the ripple effect of the economy's decline.
Revolution.
A large-scale attempt to overthrow the government of a country, often using violence or war.
Examples:
Beginning of the Industrial Revolution. A political revolution. The revolution by the citizen resulted in a redistribution of wealth.
Backward.
At, to, or toward the direction or place that is behind or rear.
Examples:
Walk backward. Backward angle. She falls over backward when she sees her mother-in-law.
Imaginary.
Existing only in someone's mind.
Examples:
Imaginary number. Imaginary pregnancy. Little children tend to have imaginary friends.